Hi, hello to everyone out there. It's been a while. Thank you very much for watching again, and we appreciate you. Please like, share, and subscribe. So today's guest is a holistic healer with over 25 years experience, a graduate in homeopathic medicine, a global license, Heal Your Life facilitator under Heart Inspired Foundation, California. She is she is a postgraduate in clinical nutrition and holds a postgraduate diploma in psychology counseling. She's a single mom herself who has conquered Addison's disease and on an initial stage of cancer of the uterus with the same tools she trained herself into. Dr. Hasina, is currently working as Chief Medical Officer at Dr. Akbi Mission Hospital and School of Homeopathy in Cuttack, India. Please welcome Dr. Hasina. Hi. How are
Hi,
you?
Tanya.
Thank you for
Fine.
coming.
How are you? Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you for having me on board as well.
Thank you. One thing I didn't have, do you have a copy of your book to hold up for our audience so they can see?
It's with me.
Okay. Good. All right. So there it is. So today, guys, we're talking the Kintsugi Moms. That's the title of her book. What a fabulous name. So Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery by mending the cracks with gold. So first question is, did that mending play any role in your title?
Exactly. Because the metaphor which we take into our lives, because if there is any challenge in your life, any brokenness in your life, it's actually cracks. And each of those cracks usually make you more stronger when you repair them. With the healing tools that I advocate to my patients, which are all the tools I used also. So when you mend those cracks, when you repair yourself and elevate yourself or transform yourself to your truest version, that's when you become more resilient, more beautiful than your previous selves. Because challenges in life, it's actually stepping stones. So when you learn those repairing methods, those healing tools, you actually become more resilient and beautiful and more stronger than your previous self. So what resonated with me was that stories of single moms. We can talk about that later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's where I was going to go with. So you were a single mom, and you also dealt with an illness, which probably is what inspired you to write the book. Well, journal. What do you call it? Book. But your diary, as it called, is it like a diary of your thoughts and things, solutions you came up with?
Actually, it's my case file. I have all sorts of cases. So it was, we treat mainly chronic diseases from cancer and autoimmune disorders of every name and every stage. And we have a hospital, a 60-bedded hospital, homeopathic hospital, one of its kind in our state. And we treat all those cases. But writing a book was a dream from my teenage.
Wow.
So when I decided that I want to write a book, I was thinking about what should I write about? Because it's like I'm jack of all trades and master of none. I'm a clinical nutritionist, I'm a homeopath, I'm a psychologist. So what should I write about? So what I did was, first of all, I wrote 400 full-scale pages about my story itself, about my journey as a single mother, how I traversed cancer, how I traversed Addison's disease. Then I thought, who am I? I'm nobody. Who would want to read my story? So that's when I thought, I'll just filter the stories of my clients, all those who are single moms who came to me with different diseases of different organs. For some, it was just psychological, for some psychosomatic, for some only physical, but they all came to me with diseases of any of the organs of the body or mind.
So give us an example. An example.
So for example, the first story in my book is about a lady. She's a single mom for 15 years. And she came to me with the anxiety, insomnia, sleeplessness of 1 year duration. She couldn't sleep at all. And she was suffering from anxiety, neurosis, depression. The cause was she lost her parents in the last 2 years. That was at the beginning of the COVID-19 lockdown period. And she had three girls, all were abroad. She was alone in her apartment and she couldn't sleep. And that's how she came to me, referred by a client, another client.
Mm.
So, and she had diabetes, she had hypertension,
Mm.
also thyroid issues, and
Mm.
insomnia was her main problem, and anxiety neurosis.
Mm.
So, what I do is, whenever I get such a case, we go to the crux of the matter.
Mm.
What caused that insomnia? It was actually grief.
Mm.
More than her single parenting or what she had to leave her husband or everything. It was the grief of losing her parents on
Mm.
whom she was dependent after leaving her husband.
Right.
And she was afraid to lie down at night. She used to see her dead parents, and she was so anxious at night that she couldn't sleep even for 1 minute. So, what I did was a homeopathic drug which resonated with her mental status as well as physical status.
Mm.
And the wonder of homeopathy is we have drugs which addresses both the mind and the body. So the drug I gave was Ignatia, which addresses the every disease that is caused by grief,
Mm.
constant grief, long lasting grief. So when I gave Ignatia on the fifth day, she started sleeping well. And then I took her through the healing modules, the first one being gratitude. You've,
Mm.
if you have heard about Rhonda Byrne, the book Secret by Rhonda Byrne. That was the book
Right.
that changed my mindset forever when I
My
started my healing. Yeah. So I took her through the 28 days ritual of gratitude journaling.
Mm.
And after 3 months with Ignatia and this gratitude journaling, she reports with so many achievements that she couldn't dream in this life. Just on the third day, she wrote 19 pages of her life history. She was a writer also, but everything was stopped because of this insomnia. So
Mhm.
she wrote 19 pages of her life story, eight poems, and 3 months later, she's sending me a photo where she is adorned as the best influencer of her district, teaching single women how to use computers. It was an illiterate in computers. She had trained more than 700 women by then. And after 6 months, the member of parliament is giving her a trophy, and she sends me back photos. So
Wow.
this is the inspiration that led me to write the books, because we see radical changes when these women are just given a nudge, a support, a nudge as to
Right.
which direction to go. Because she was going after so many psychologists, psychiatrists, taking sleeping pills, nothing was working.
Mm.
The only thing was needed to shift her focus from negativity to positivity. And the drug also acted finely. A
Yes.
homeopathic drug also acted finely.
Yes.
I use all modules. Together with that, I also use all other modules like inner child analysis, forgiveness. There are many modules, but I customize it according to the need of the patient. So I
Right.
filter 8 of my single mom stories and put it into a book. That's what I did. Yeah,
That sounds brilliant. And because a lot of single moms, I find that is stress is the number one killer of us, or why we end up with illness. Because if I'm stressed, what do? I eat more and eat more
exactly.
bad foods. So I'm not.
Exactly.
I don't even eat live foods. If I ate live foods, it'd be different. Like things would seem
Comfort foods.
exactly.
Comfort food.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's where we then gain weight, then we get depressed, and then it just becomes a whole spiral effect of just nothing.
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you address all the issues,
Yeah.
because that's another one, gratitude. We can't get anything if we can't be thankful.
Whatever we have, there is a thing, whatever circumstance in it, there will be one thing for which you can be grateful for.
Hmm.
And when you focus your attention on that, your life changes radically. That was the first book on mind healing that influenced me. Apart from Louise L. Hay, when I had my first stage of cancer, it was Louise L. Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, that redeemed me. Yeah,
Yes, that's a
yeah.
good book. Now,
That's why I.
mhm. How did you, when you first got cancer, were you still a single mom at that time? And that's how you came up with all this? Because you're like, if I'm going through this, how many other women are going through this?
Exactly, no, because I had my initial stage of cancer when I was with my husband.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 3 years. It was continuously bleeding. Each time the bleeding starts, it lasts for 3 to 4 months at a time, and I have to go for a DNC. And
Oh,
finally, my gynecologist said, "You remove your uterus," because I was only 36 at that age, at that time.
okay.
And she told me it's the first stage of cancer. You need to remove your uterus.
Uh,
That's when teachers started appearing to me in the form of books. The first
oh,
book was Nine Principles of Self-Healing by Paula Horan, then Louise L. Hay, then Rhonda Byrne. So many teachers came into my life. So I
yeah.
started using all those modules. Just as you said, it was comfort eating. I was 90 kg at that time.
Mhm.
And then I got a book by Harvey Diamond, Fit for Life,
Oh,
which
good luck.
changed my concept about diet and nutrition forever.
Mm.
So I used all those modules and I got the audacity to tell my husband that I'm leaving you. And I came away with my son. And within 6 months, my uterus became normal. And
Wow.
it's still normal. Now I'm 52 and my uterus is still normal. So that was my takeaway from my life, because there's
Wow.
nothing that you can't do if you know what to do. And
Right.
for me, books were my teachers. And I have a great mentor in homeopathy, my teacher, Dr. Ajay Kumar,
Hmm.
who taught me the real essence of homeopathy, not the miscellaneous things that you mix together, the real classical homeopathy. So I got that also.
Hmm.
Together with that, when I started using these modules in my life, as
Hmm.
well as in my patient's life, there were radical cures that was happening. And it never returned also. So I
Mm.
thought I needed to put these out because homeopathy is still stamped a pseudoscience.
Right.
It's not accepted by the world around. But
No.
I have seen miracles happening from 1993
Hmm.
to this time.
Mm.
Cancers. Our first cancer case lived from 93 to 2006, 17. A
Mm.
65-year-old lady at 1993, she lived till 2017. That was my,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, that was my inspiration to follow the system. Actually, I was never into this homeopathic system. I wanted to become a gynecologist, but my father, a visionary educationist, he just pulled me by the ear and put me in the medical college, homeopathic medical, for which I'm
But
eternally grateful.
exactly,
Yeah,
I was going to say that's good because I think all holistics should also have MD, only because then they know both modalities.
yeah,
They understand both principles, and then they can
exactly.
come up with better solutions.
Yeah,
Because to me, illness is a layered approach. It's not just I got cancer. It's okay. What caused the cancer? What can we do about it? What stage is it in? How can
yeah,
we help? And if I'm mentally unstable, then physically I won't be able to really get better anyway.
exactly.
So it's a whole approach. And if you're a doctor, you had certain trainings, you know about every piece of the body, along with the holistic of, let me see, instead of pills, what can we do instead of,
Yeah.
plant-based or whatever. So I like, I have a doctor who's holistic and an MD.
Oh,
Um,
really? Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and he trained under Dr. Sebi. So he's very he's really good. I got rid of all my illnesses that I had because I started doing plant-based and being more holistic approach than listening to the regular traditional approach. So
That's why we connected.
yes, it is absolutely. So what was the hardest part about writing this book?
The hardest part.
Hmm. Like remembering the past, or trying to figure out what the audience needed. What was the hardest part?
Yeah, it was actually to filter and give out what the audience really needs, because the subjects that I've handled here can go into volumes,
Hmm.
because about the healing modalities, about homeopathy, about the stories itself. For
Hmm.
one story, it's a whole life story. You can write a book about each woman in this. So the
Hmm.
hardest part was to make it concise and make it into the small thing which can be of any help to the reader. So that
Yeah.
was the hardest part. But
Mm.
anyway, the final thing, I'm satisfied. I hope it reaches out to anybody in need of a healing and they get
Yes.
a healing.
Yes. Where can they get the book?
As of now,
Uh-huh.
it's a pre-public, only the pre-publication copies are available. That's through my WhatsApp number and
What
my
is
virtual assistant number.
what's
She will
that?
handle
Okay.
WhatsApp. Just for
Okay.
this month,
Oh,
And
okay.
by December, November last to December 1st, it will reflect on Amazon in all
Okay.
countries and all
Okay.
as well as in the stores. It'll be
Okay.
available in Indian stores by next week, but on Amazon, because it's a traditional publisher, Hay House, they have their protocols, so they'll upload it in Amazon only in December. So for now, it's pre-publication copies, which can
Okay.
be had from WhatsApp. Yeah,
Okay, so November, and right now through WhatsApp. Okay,
yeah.
so we'll work it out. And anybody who wants to view the book or purchase the book, you can always inbox me if you can't remember. And you have a Facebook page, correct?
I have a Facebook page. I have LinkedIn. I have a website, drhasinacp.com. There also you can order. The number is there,
Oh, okay.
drhasinacp.com.
What is it, Doctor? Doctor?
drhasenacp.com. Should I type it?
I'm gonna let me
Yeah.
tell me if this
Small
is right.
letter. All small letter. Dr.
That-
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
right. Okay, there
Yeah.
we go. So if you want to get the book, that's one site that you can get it from. Please
Yeah.
make sure you support. I'm very big about supporting women, women causes, and just people causes, because a lot of people right now are, going through sickness, illness, especially after the pandemic. They need
Yeah.
any help they can get. So particularly single moms, because they are raising the future. It's our future. So if they're
Exactly.
not well, our future may not be well. That's how I
Exactly.
see it. So I appreciate you
It's
for
another thing that motivated me to write, because when I look into the statistics of the world,
Mhm.
just in India, the population of single mothers is 4.1.
Really.
Amounting, yeah, 4.1 households, percent of households are handled by single mothers.
Isn't
And
that
on the world,
unusual for India? Right?
it's only for India,
Yeah.
and the world statistics is about 14 point million.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've written it. The status I've written it in around 14.1 million of women are handling their household alone, single mothers. So the challenges are mostly underestimated or not overlooked, mainly overlooked. Nobody addresses their problems to
Yes.
the core. Because
Yes.
when I came as a single mother
Mhm.
in my society, I was rejected everywhere. I was ostracized from society. My son was alienated from the normal society, telling that he's a single mom bred son, he'll be
Mhm.
spoiled.
Mm.
To go through, even there was nobody to support at that time. But now the scenario has changed. It's fine now. Divorces are happening,
Yes.
widows, everything. They are accepted now. But 15 years back, I was like an alien in my community. So that
Right.
was yeah.
I
It
was an
was
alien too. I had my daughter at 23.
Yeah. My son is 26.
Yeah. And I could have, well, she's now 34, but I could have gotten married, but I was like, nope, I'm not going to do that just because of that. And I believe definitely in the quality of every life matters. So, it's the best thing I ever did. So I'm happy about it. And I don't let people judge me,
Yeah.
because most of the people judging are in a worse predicament than you, even with their husbands.
Exactly. I wanted to say that. One of my friends has wrote a poem in my book, so beautiful about single mothers. Like,
Really?
yeah, should I read it out? It's
Oh,
really
please.
interesting.
Yes, please do. Please.
You can ask me a question by the time I'll find it in the book. I don't know
Okay,
where
what's
it
her
is.
name? What's her name?
Her name is Shehnaz.
Chiknas. Okay.
Shehnaz. She's a single mother herself, and
Okay.
she's written such a powerful poem which resonated with me. So I just added it into my book. Just a
Okay. Go
minute.
ahead. Whenever you find
Yeah.
it.
You can ask me any other
Yeah.
question by
Yeah.
the
Well,
time.
while you look for it. Yeah. Well, I liked what that you said. The book takes us through the challenges and struggles of single mothers and the ways that metamorphosed into the highest and truest expression of themselves. And
Yeah.
that's the piece for me, that by doing this work that you're doing, working specifically with single moms, you're not only healing the body but the mind. The
Exactly.
mind is so important. People, they always, who cares? No, if this is not correct, nothing else follows suit.
Exactly. Because
So
medicines are only walking sticks.
Mhm.
I say medicines, even if it's homeopathy, even if it's holistic, I say it is a walking stick. The minute you feel good, you need to remove your walking stick and learn to walk alone. And
Mm,
that can happen only when you heal yourself inside out.
mm.
Nobody else can do it for you.
Yeah.
I can guide, I can nudge, but the healing has to happen with the voluntary interest of the person concerned. So
Mhm.
that happens when you give them the tools to heal themselves. Each time, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to fall into disease, but each time you have the strategic tools to
Mhm.
return to normalcy if you go through this process. That's
Mm.
my takeaway from my life.
Well, that's the best takeaway because that was going to be the next question. And
Yeah.
so that I will say, what any other advice that you would give to readers
Yeah.
that you
Before
want
that,
them?
shall I read that little poem?
Yes, of course. Yes, we'll read that and then we'll answer that one after. Go ahead. Sure.
Yeah.
Please.
She's written it like this: Be nice, just as we are. Be friends if you can be. It's for men who tries to take advantage. Do not help, do not take over. Do not be the man at our service. Just be nice and let us be.
Mm,
Don't understand us to be lonely and sad or bored, and definitely free. In
mm,
fact, we are the busiest as we do things on our own.
mm,
And we are happier than your wives, and
mm,
not so lonely as your old mothers and married sisters. If you have so much time, be there for them.
mm,
Our freedom is our elixir for life, and we would trade that for nothing. To
mm,
you, we may seem complicated, selfish, heartless. Yes, we are selectively so. Just be friends if you can and if you want. If you expect benefits, you are not fit to be one. Don't force us time and again to make rudeness our virtue. I
mm.
simply love that.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. Absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, she's a
Absolutely.
writer also. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that's wow. That's brilliant. And I wonder if because of your book, she was inspired to write even more and higher her higher self from her higher self.
Yeah.
That's great. She needs to write a book too.
She's a translator. She's already writing many books, but not yet published, actually. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about publishing, and this is what I learned. I wrote a book for orphans, foster youth, called "Surviving Foster Care and Making It Work for You" on
All
Amazon.
right.
And Amazon publishes your book for free. You don't have to do anything. You just need a bank account for them to send the money. That's it. And that's the best way if you can't find, a big publishing house.
Yeah.
You know?
But
Um,
the problem is, I'm not a very media savvy person and I don't know how to market my work. That's why I went for traditional publishing.
well, no, if you also you're a doctor, so you probably have more publishers that will take your work than just a
Yeah,
regular like
because
me.
maybe because I'm also a Hay House, I work under Hay House, I'm a Hay House teacher.
Yes,
Maybe that
yes,
also resonated with them. They just accepted my book unsolicited, even without an agent. So that was all a
absolutely,
blessing. Yeah, it was a
absolutely.
blessing
Yeah,
to be
no,
taken up by an international publisher. And
that's
I just thank God that everything happened by serendipity. I didn't do anything. Just
oh,
like Dr. Wayne W. Dyer says,
I love
we do
Dwight.
nothing, we just sit with the pen, it's channelized. Yeah,
I love.
effort was there. It was a labor
All
of
right,
2 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Mr. Dwyer. He was awesome. He was a foster
Yeah.
kid too. He was an orphan.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. And he
he
has
found his,
six
yeah.
children.
He found his mom later, but he was a foster kid.
Yeah,
So
wonderful man.
yeah. So what's the last piece of advice you'd want to give to readers as a takeaway? Um,
That also, can I just read it out from my book, the last
I can.
part of my book?
Of course.
Yeah. An important lesson that I learned from my life is that in spite of all the knowledge and insights, our buttons do get pushed at times.
Mhm.
And it's perfectly okay to be vulnerable. You don't need to be a superwoman at all times. You need not be ashamed if you feel lost and uncertain at times. It's
Mm,
perfectly okay to get diseased, depressed, overwhelmed, and even feel defeated at sometimes. But
mm,
it's not okay to succumb to those negative energies for long and lament about the challenges that come forth. You
mm,
are bestowed with all the tools to heal yourself and emerge like a phoenix bird from your own ashes. Life is so beautiful that it
Mm.
teaches you one small lesson with each hurdle it puts forth on your path. All you need to do is become a receptive vessel that has the capacity to get kintsugi each time it cracks.
Mm. Wow.
And most of all, being a mother, and that too a single one, is your greatest strength. Hold this title as a crown on your head. The word in itself holds the ferociousness of a lioness and the softness of the early morning breeze. You are no less than God, with the prowess to be the creator, nurturer, and destroyer all at once. That's why in Hindu mythology, many of the images of the divine are feminine in nature. You
Mm.
don't even have to give birth to be a mother. You are by very nature the personification of motherhood. You are
Mm.
Mary, you are Yashoda, you are Amina, you are Shakti, all rolled into one.
Mm.
As a
Wow.
conclusion, I would say there's a favorite poem I always use by Rabindranath Tagore, a Bengali, greatest Bengali poet of our country. It reads as Joditar Dakshinikyu Nashe
Mhm.
Tobi Eklo Chalore, which means if even if nobody responds to your call, don't be disheartened. Be
Mm.
brave and walk your path alone.
Mhm.
So, my message to all those women out there,
Mm.
even if you're not single, even if you're single, anybody, respond to the calling in your life. I have
Mm.
dared to walk my path. Now
Mm.
it's your turn. Walk your path alone bravely, my dears. That's the
Mm.
message I give here.
That is brilliant. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for that piece. I appreciate it. I will be doing everything I can to tweet out the book and send out the book because that is, if
I'll be
that's,
happy to deliver one at your doorstep because there's
yes,
someone traveling to US. So all the US orders, I'm planning to give it to them. So I'll definitely send one copy to you. You don't
I will
have to
send you
pay.
my address. I will send you my address because I will definitely spread the word and I will plug it as much as I can because I'm
Thank
a
you
big
so much,
believer.
Sarah. You
Thank
are
you. Namaste. Thank you so much for bringing that joy to us because I'm telling you, somebody will get that message. Somebody needs it. So
hope
I
so.
appreciate you. I really do. And I guess I can't believe time flies, but I appreciate you for being a guest on our show this week. And I will let you, I will send you my address. You know how we
Yeah.
do. I'll
Yeah,
let you.
just WhatsApp it to me. I'll see to it that the book is delivered at your doorstep. And
And
thank you so much for having me on board. I'm a first time author. I don't know how you searched me out. And again, I believe it's just the
I found you.
divine.
It is
Yeah,
the
it's
divine. I
divine.
found you on Facebook. It's a
Yeah,
divine.
yeah,
Yeah. It was in a book group, and someone I guess posted your book, and I said, "Oh, this looks good." So it's divine from the universe. It was meant to be. But I
exactly.
appreciate you. And to all my viewers, please go out and get the book when it comes out in November, or go to her website, inbox me. You know me, and when I get a chance, I might put it on my page so that you won't have to look all over for it. But you need to get it if you're into 2023. It's all about healing yourself, being the best you can be, and finding your true gift and your true reason for being here. So this is
Exactly.
part of helping you. So get it and watch The Secret, by the way. Rhonda Byrne. It's very good. So thank you, viewers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Doc, hang out with me for one moment while I just end here. Let's see. So guys, we'll see you next week. All right.
Bye.
Stay right
Thank
there.
you. Namaste from